once again, 10 years ago, I was in high school just liking a camera and taking pictures on my phone. So like, I wouldn't have worked this hard and gone this far for nothing. And that's why like keep going is like super, super important to me, because you just got to keep going on the path that you're on, because you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah. Hi, welcome back to another episode of If You Build It with my girl China. What's up? What's good?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good.
Alright, let the folks know who you are, where you from, and what it is that you do.
Alright, well, my name is China Keys. People know me on social media and on my website for my photography as Madenchynna. I am a photographer specializing in music, lifestyle. I like shooting people that are in love, but mostly music. I've been a photographer for the last 6 years, but I have loved photography and been involved in photography for the last, I guess, 10 to 12, so. Okay. Yes.
When did photography start for you?
Photography started, I always say this, it sounds so dumb, but I had like a digital camera, like the little Kodak Coolpix kind of ones that I would take to school, and I would like take pictures of myself, but like on a self timer. And this is when I would like dress up going to school, and like I just liked taking pictures of myself, and I thought they looked like creative and cool or whatever. And I think that really kind of sparked it. It sounds weird, but that is kind of what sparked it. And then I took a photography class in high school in 11th and 12th grade, learning about like the ins and outs of the darkroom and a bit of Photoshop and Lightroom. So that's kind of where it started for me.
Okay, what high school was this at?
This was at Lackey in Charles County, Maryland, down in the Cut. That's where I'm from. I'm from Charles County, but I live in PG now.
Okay, cool. So tell me about that darkroom experience.
The darkroom was cool. It really like introduced me to something that I had never touched before, because even though at that time like we had like the chocolates and MV2s for the cell phone cameras, or like the little Nikon Coolpix or Kodak whatevers, I had never really gotten introduced to like the beginnings of photography when it came to the film world. So I thought that was cool. That was like one of my first introductions to really understanding photo. So, you know, being able to just go outside and capture different scenes and all the scenery. That was when I was really big on like landscape photography and like taking pictures of architecture. I really liked architecture and finding the way, like looking at different angles of the way buildings look and stuff like that.
What's your favorite kind of architecture?
What is my favorite kind of architecture? I don't know. Like it would just be like different buildings in the city, like the way that they're like the way that you could look at a certain building instead of just looking up. Sometimes you could go to the side or like duck down, or like if you take a picture of it facing this way just straight up, it looks totally different. So those type of angles were always cool to me. But yeah, in photo class I learned how to develop and like use the stop bath and all the technical pieces of the darkroom. And that was pretty cool to you know have that experience so young. And then I guess after that I learned a bit of like skills in like Photoshop and Lightroom in the next class, which also was cool because I learned how to, you know, use some of those like editing techniques that I still use to this day, like clone stamp and healing brush and all that type of stuff. But then I also like remember I learned how to, because I learned how to do that, I made my own graduation announcements because I took the proof of the graduation picture that I wasn't paying for and I just copied it and I just took out the word proof using Photoshop. So like, you know, I was just able to learn a couple of cool skills during that time.
And you finesse.
Yes.
Yes.
Always finesse. Always finesse. And then after that, I moved to PG. I started going to Bowie State.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that darkroom access anymore. Because this was at the time when they didn't have the Fine and Performing Arts Center built when I got there. So they didn't have a darkroom. They didn't have photography. Yeah. Any of those type of things. So
how did you improve the talent?
I started using my phone, honestly. I figured, you know, as long as you have an eye for something, you don't really, it doesn't really, it doesn't matter what equipment you use.
Yeah.
So I went to an exhibit called Artomatic, which is pretty cool. They like take a building that's about to get demolished and like have hundreds of artists just showcase their work.
Yeah.
So I went there before I went to Bowie. I remember it was like the summer, and there was a photographer that solely did mobile photography. She only did pictures on her cell phone, but like the stuff did not look like it was on a cell phone. And this was before it was an iPhone 12, iPhone 13. This was on like, I don't even think I had an iPhone at that time. So like, you know, it was, you know, working with what you got. And I thought that was so cool. And I was just like, I wanna do stuff like that. So
do you remember what year this was?
This was 2011. Yes. So I started taking pictures on like my iPod Touch and on using my phone and just editing them on my phone. And I just really liked the way that those looked.
Yeah.
During that time, I also was able to like interact and work with some of the photography community at Bowie. Because if you didn't know, there are a lot of photographers, famous ones right now, that came out of Bowie State. Oh yeah, definitely. So of course, Vivid Dope, Kyrie went to Bowie. I was envious of Kyrie when he was there because because he would just walk around with his camera, and I don't think I had a camera at the time. So I was like, I should do that. I could do that.
So Vivid had a camera before you?
Yes.
But he told me you're the reason he still does photography to this day.
I could kind of see that, but that's special. That's special, but yes, he definitely had a camera before me. Brandon, his Instagram is DMac the Realist. He actually sold me my first camera.
Okay.
Reese, Ryan, Roland, who's like a super famous influencer now. He's really cool. He's still dope with his pictures. But yeah, these are the people that I like decided to, you know, surround myself with when I was at Bowie. I also was in like a photography club, and like all during this time I didn't have a camera.
So you were having this whole experience without having a shooter on you. It was just you.
It was me and my phone. I was just taking pictures.
So you always had an eye for photography.
Yeah.
From when you were young to current.
Yes, that's what people have always said to me. Like when I would post random cell phone pictures, they'd be like, "Oh, this looks cool. I never would have thought that you could make something look like this." Like I remember it was this picture of like you know, the helicopters that fall out the tree. Like I'll show you later, but like they were on this table in my grandfather's backyard, but the way they were looking just looked so cool to me. They were just like all standing up, so I like took the picture, and nobody thought that I did it on my phone, and they were like, "Oh wow, I wasn't expecting you to do this. You really have an eye for photography, blah blah blah." And like people started saying that more and more, basically. And then I had a friend, Brandon. He was the one that had told me like, "You need a camera. Like you doing this all on your phone. You need a camera." I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So then, random, but I won a game show, and I used that money to buy my first camera.
Yeah. Do you remember what game show this was?
It's called the Black College Quiz. It actually was on TV.
Okay.
I have no idea if anyone's ever seen it because it was on like Bounce. But I used that money to buy my first camera.
Yeah.
And this was in 2014.
Okay.
The summer of 2014. Yeah.
Did you happen to have any photos from that time in the Black Room?
No, because this was the digital camera. This was my first digital camera, yes.
Okay, so do you have any of the film photography on you?
Yes, I do.
Alright, cool. Pull that thing out. Let me see what you got. I know you got some killer photos.
Alright, so this is the camera I used during the darkroom phases.
Yeah, this one right here. You can just put it right in there.
This
just
is
extend it with it.
Canon T70.
Okay.
It's like a very basic, first using film kind of camera.
Do you remember what year it came out?
Like the 70s or 80s.
Oh, word? Oh,
Yeah.
so that's an ancient piece of equipment right there.
Yeah, I
bet.
got that from a friend that did photography too. That didn't need it anymore because he was getting a new one.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is something I took during that time.
If you put it in there, it'll like show you where it focuses.
Okay. I think so. Yeah, so I really like this one. This was like just a tree, but I thought it looked really cool, and it kind of looks like lightning almost. And yeah, I just thought it was dope. I thought the way it just looked kind of mysterious, like a little spooky. So yeah, that's one. These are just like this is just a contact sheet. If nobody's ever seen this before, it's like when you take all the pictures, when you develop all the pictures, or before you develop all the pictures, excuse me, we take the film out and do all the chemicals and stuff like that. You use this to look through your pictures and figure out how much light you want exposed to these. So on the back it says these were shot at, well, I think I'm trying to remember all of it, but it says f11 at 10 seconds. So I think I held the light on it for 10 seconds.
Okay.
And that's why it's like this. I'm trying to remember. This was a minute. It was a minute ago. Let's see. These are some boots. This is my friend Bruce, who is a really dope graphic designer. He is going to be at my wedding next year as one of the best men. But yeah,
you get to see his 10 toes down.
He did these. He did these boots himself. So I felt like I had to capture that. Yeah, it's a little messy, but this was once again like 7 years ago.
I'm surprised you still have them in such great condition.
They've been in the cut. They're in a box called China at College.
Okay. So you organized?
No. They were just in a box. I just knew they were in there, and I was like, I remember I had some. I think this is a self-portrait of me. This is me.
So this was on the timer also?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think I have no idea where I was, but I was standing somewhere. And I think I just, looking cool and carefree.
It's a great backdrop.
Before I was an adult.
Yeah, that's a great backdrop.
Oh, yes, the trees.
Yeah.
Yes, this is what Bowie is surrounded by, honestly.
That would be easily an easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Right. I just need to be spinning around.
Yeah, either that or it's Maybelline. That's what it's giving.
Yes, I feel that. And then, this is just like taking pictures of some of my friends in the caf.
Okay, anyone significant in these photos?
The guy there drinking something out of his cup is who I'm gonna marry.
Let's get a close-up. Let's get a close-up of my guy. Here we go. He in there. Look at the straw.
Yes.
What up, Reg?
Yes, so, we have proof that I knew this man for a while now. But yeah. And then this last one, I honestly cannot remember when I took this.
Okay,
I think it was either high school or college.
Who's in this photo that I'm looking at right here?
This is me sitting on a plane with my beloved grandmother.
Okay.
Okay, I kind of remember this now. It's called a photogram. So like, you're supposed to take a photo and then put something over top of the photo while you're developing it, so that the shadow or the figure of whatever you did put on top is captured in the picture.
Yeah.
So like, I put a heart there. I don't even know how I made that heart. It's probably like out of some wire or something. And then these are like just small negatives of me as a small child.
Yeah.
But, very reminiscent. I miss this lady, so I love this picture. And those are just some photos from the darkroom.
That's a hell of a throwback.
Yes.
That's a hell of a throwback.
Yeah.
So from the dark room to the stage, tell me about that experience.
From the dark room to the stage. All right, that's a somewhat long experience. Well, not that long, but okay. So like I said, Brandon sold me my first camera in 2014 during the summer. It was the day before I moved to Philly to be an intern at a consulting firm. Very random.
Okay.
But I took that time when I was there. I was like, oh, I have a camera now. Let me go explore the city. So I was exploring the city. There was like what is that called? A graffiti. It was like Graffiti Island, or it's something. I can't remember. I'll say it later. But like, I like took that time to explore there and like climb my first tree. I was just doing whatever because I was there, and I was like, let me just take some pictures and capture a new city that I'm in. So took some pictures there, enjoyed it, and then like when school started, that was my senior year, so I kind of put the camera away a little bit. People would encourage me to like bring it out, but I was like, I need to graduate. So I still had it, of course, but during this time also, and during all of college, I was always at concerts. This was when I think 2011, in that fall semester, was like the first time the Fillmore opened, or the first time the Fillmore started having like a lot of shows. The Fillmore in Silver Spring. Bowie's not that far from Silver Spring compared to Fort Washington. So I have a bunch of friends that also like music, so we always used to go to different shows. This is also, I think, when the Howard Theater started opening up more too. So I was always at shows. I was always in the front because I'm an avid music lover. I know all the words to all the songs. I'm gonna rap it in your face to the point where I have been called on stage by some rappers before to rap, but whatever. But like I'm always, I love music. I'm always in the front. So during those times, I would be in the front, and I would be like seeing people that are photographers in the pit, and I'd be like, I can do that. I'm looking at them. I can take their pictures. So like sometimes I would like I can't remember their names, but there's two people that used to work for WPGC, and they used to take pictures, and I was like, how did you get to where you are? What are you doing? How did you do this? And I think we like exchanged Instagrams and stuff. So like I just kind of was able to like follow their work and see what they're doing, and I was like, I aspire to be like that. So this is now, I've been going to concerts all those 4 years. We're in 2015. During all the time I've been going to concerts, I was able to, interact with other people that have been going to concerts. So I had a friend, Toronto. He had a blog called How Was the Concert? And he used to just go to concerts and review it. He had applied to cover Broccoli City 2015. And he already knew me. He knew I had just bought a camera a couple months before. And he was like, do you want to shoot it? I was like, yeah, sure. I was going to go anyways. Whatever. But I didn't know what I was doing. So this is like the first time I had picked up a camera in a couple months. I had my kit lens. I was just like, let's do it. Let's shoot it. So
Do you remember the millimeter of the kit lens you had?
it was 18 to 55.
Oh, that's a nice lens.
18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6, I believe.
Okay, that's a nice wide lens. I see.
Yeah.
All right.
But like at that time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't understand. I was just like, I know I have a camera and a lens, and I like taking pictures. And Erykah Badu and Joey Badass are gonna be there, so yeah, let's do it.
Passion was on your side.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like I had been to the other Broccoli cities the years before, started in like 2013, so I was already like kind of aware of how that type of concert would be. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went with my friends, took some pictures. Now looking back at them, they were trash. Really not cute. I didn't know what I was doing. They weren't in focus. There was a couple that I liked, but at that time, I thought they were great. I was really excited, happy for myself. I actually took a picture of Kali Uchis that is really bad, but it's kind of crazy just to see like where she is now and where she was then, because I think she had performed at like 1 o'clock and there was like nobody in the crowd, and just seeing how big she is now, it's crazy. All that to say, a year later, I noticed that Broccoli City had showed their lineup. They had said who was going to be at Broccoli City 2016. I had posted a throwback of all the 10 pictures that I liked from 2015. Yes, the good ones. And I was like, oh, Broccoli City just announced their 2016 lineup. Who are you excited to see? But this was really just because I wanted to. Like, I was just like, whatever. I was not doing this for any. I didn't even expect. Not at all. I just was like, who are you excited to see? Because I'm excited to see these people. Then the media coordinator for Broccoli City hit me up under that comment, or under that post with a comment like, hey, can we use these for promo? I'm like, yeah, please. But then I had talked to my friends and I was like, I gotta figure out a way to make this an opportunity.